All right, so I'm going to be doing a review of Godzilla All Hail the King. This was collected in the Monsters and Protectors story. This is the sequel to Godzilla Monsters and Protectors. I did a review of that, I think a year or two ago, and I always wanted to read the sequel just for completionist sake, because this was actually when Godzilla was brought back to IDW. This was their first book that they came out with, and it was more geared towards children, and that's something you have to take into account with this. Um, so there is that. Now, the comic is written by Eric Burnham, who most of you guys would know best. He had been IDW's go-to guy for like Transformers Beast Wars, especially the Ghostbusters, and a few other things. So this was his first crack at Godzilla, and the artwork by Dan Schuing, hope I'm saying that last name right, is I think certain characters look good and certain monsters look good, but there are others where I'm just like, eh. I like the Mothra design. It's very puffy and like a moth. All the monsters look good, but for some reason, Godzilla just does not look good. Like all the other monsters, Chewing, I'm just going to talk about the art right now. Chewing basically, I don't know what it is. It's Godzilla's face. It's just, he's like a big blob of gray clay. It's off-putting. But it's weird, because all the, like, Ghidorah, when he becomes Mecha Ghidorah, spoiler, it's on the fucking cover. Why spoil it? Jet Jaguar, King Caesar, they all look good. But I don't understand why Godzilla doesn't. Is it just me? Am I going crazy? I don't know. So the story, for those who remember, I'm going to do a little catch-up real fast. Basically, the story is a group of kids, one of whom, named Cedric, tells the story of how he helped Godzilla convince that humanity was worth saving, and they stopped a massive business company from unleashing Biollante and killing a lot of people. Godzilla defeated Biollante and went to sleep. But it turns out the sequel hook was the sequel tycoon guy. He was working for the Exilians, and now the Exilians are headed to Earth to invade it with the help of course, King Ghidorah, who Ghidorah's origin's pretty interesting in here, because it's very clear we're cherry picking a lot of really cool stuff to use and really cool concepts, and I gotta give Eric Burnham that. I gotta give Burnham that, is that he basically takes a little bit of Ghidorah's origin from a bit of Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, but also Rebirth of Mothra 3, which had Ghidorah be the reason why the dinosaurs were wiped out. So it's kind of a cool mix of the two origins right there. So I do like it. The main characters are kind of the reason why this book gets dragged down for me, if I'm being honest. Let me just talk about that. Especially in the first book, I was like, all right, Cedric is learning to be a good kid and all that, and he's learning, all these lessons and whatnot. But here, he's just kind of like chasing clout and also just being absolutely annoying. Like, all of the lessons he learned from the first story just get thrown to the wayside, and neither of his friends call bullshit on him. And we have a new girl, Karen. I know, that was a distracting too. And she has a connection to a monster. The cover spoils it. It's King Caesar. Her family is connected to King Caesar, and basically what it is that Cedric and her just don't get along, because he thinks he's like. Also, he's just blurting out that he has a connection to Godzilla all the time and all of that. And I'm just kind of like, dude, shut up. And also, how fast they were willing to like let Karen into the group, because like I was kind of thinking before that reveal was shown, was that Karen was going to be like an Exilian spy or something, which I'd have been like none of the friends say, hey, maybe shut up if you're like, this new person shows up and Godzilla's doing weird shit and now there's a new monster named Ghidorah, shut up. But Cedric is just so obnoxious to everyone, and again, he's our main character, and no one calls bullshit out on him. So I don't know what it is, and Burnham is really good at doing, like, and I understand that this is an all-ages book. I'm well aware. And Burnham is really good at doing, like, all these properties, especially for a young audience, but, like, he's not good at writing kids. I don't think he's good at writing kids, because these characters learn very little lessons, and the one they do is very ham-fisted. The story itself is just, like, the kid characters are boring as shit. Yeah, I don't think he's good at writing kids. He's good at writing other characters. I will say, like, he is damn good at writing, adult characters. I feel like that would have been better in this situation. And I understand Godzilla has always been like at his core, Godzilla is one of the most malleable characters, and for a longest time, Godzilla was geared towards children. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm well aware of where Godzilla comes from as a character. I've been a fan of this character for a long time. You know, I'm like Andor. Suddenly, Godzilla means something to you. I've been in this fight since I was 2 years old. Anyway, so the story itself is pretty neat of Ghidorah being the main antagonist, shocker, but it is cool to see King Caesar be added, because King Caesar doesn't get enough love, and I think this is only the second time now Caesar has played a major role in a Godzilla IDW book. The other time was the tail end of Rulers of Earth. So it was fun to see King Caesar and even Jet Jaguar into the mix as well. Jet Jaguar's been getting a lot of hype in the IDW books as of late, so it's cool to see him there. I will also say that it's cool how they utilize Gabara, because Gabara in here, the Exilians make a dream machine to like try to poke at Godzilla's mind, and it comes in the form of Gabara, which is fun because Gabara originally was meant to be like a kaiju Freddy Krueger in a way, so it was kind of cool to see him. I will say that the end of this, because it ends in a special one-shot called Summer Smash Up, which basically is like almost like we couldn't get a third season, so we just ended everything in a big one, That's how it feels like. All Hail the King was season 2, and Summer Smash Up was the movie special to end, tie up everything. And I will say that the ending is pretty neat in that Godzilla's like, I'm gonna go to sleep now, and the Shobojin warned the kids, if he wakes up again, he's gonna wipe out humanity. So, and they're like, well, what if another monster shows up? Then we have Mothra, Jet Jaguar, and King Caesar to protect us now. So that's a pretty solid team right now, but I don't know if that's going to help against Space Godzilla or Destroya. Anyway, this was kind of a slog to get through, mostly because of the human characters. They were kind of the main reason why I didn't like this book. Whenever the monsters showed up, it was a great change of pace. But yeah, I understand this was meant for younger audiences, but at the same time, you can write it smarter than this. And again, I don't think he's good. Like Burnham's good at writing kids. I wish I understand writing kids are hard. So anyway, so that's my review of Godzilla: All Hail the King. You guys tell me in the comments below if you've read this comic. Comment below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.